Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Louis Centeno Show. Welcome to Countdown to Justice. Today is March 7th, and we're just 11 days away for the release of Zack Snyder Justice League. I have a wonderful show for you guys today. I'm looking forward towards this. We're gonna have Dave the Film Junkie just a second, and also the Outlaw, also known as the GOAT. And I've been a fan of Dave. I actually follow him. I follow his channel. Awesome dude, man. A lot of content, man. A lot of interviews, man. So if you haven't subscribed to his channel, please do so. I tell you, it's an honor, pleasure to be here with you guys to discuss what we're about to see in 11 days away. Obvious, there's a lot of rumors going on out there, spoilers and all that stuff. So pay no mind to that. So right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to raise awareness for juvenile diabetes. The link is on the description at the bottom. If you just could donate any amount that you can, it is to raise awareness of juvenile diabetes. For those that don't know, last year my daughter got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, so it's a daily struggle. Just today, on our way to church, her sugar went all the way to 250. So this is a life of a diabetic person. Obviously, when they go through that, there's a lot of mental stress on that. So when this event is over, I'm also gonna focus on the American Suicide Foundation, being that I'm a suicide survivor myself. Okay, so without further ado, what I want to do is I want to bring in Dave first, so we could talk to him and get to know him a little bit better. Dave, it's been a long time coming, my man. Thank you.
What's up?
I want to thank you so much for joining me. You didn't have to do this, but I really appreciate this, and I think the reason that you're doing this is you're a fan. We want to celebrate Zack Snyder Justice League. So and I thank you for that. I'm gonna dive in right away.
Okay.
Did you ever think that we will get here, that we will actually see the movie?
I think I always had hope. Like anytime, like when the original movie came out, obviously it was just like, and we were all kind of a lot of people were shell shocked. We all were a little shell shocked by that monstrosity, even though at the time we try to, a lot of us did try to convince ourselves that, hey, that's something. It's something, Snyder. Come on, it's something. It's a continuation of some sorts. And then when more information started coming out, I think I always had hope just because of people I was talking to, and I was like, somehow this thing is going to happen. But I didn't think it was going to be this quick. I thought it was going to be another couple of years, to be honest, few years.
Yeah, I think AT&T buying out Warner Brothers had a big part in it, because I don't think if they would have bought them out, I don't think we would have been here. So did you know right away that something was off when you was watching the movie? Did somebody hit you up after it?
No, I got a press screening, and so I was on the Warner Brothers lot watching it, and as soon as the opening scene, I think like everyone, we kind of just went, oh shit, this is that's not all the what rushed in my head was all the rumors that I was like, no, there's no way that they were trying to do this or this or that or this. So all those rumors that I was trying to debunk all came rushing back, and I went, and it just my heart kind of sank, and then I was trying to enjoy it as much as I could, and then I remember walking back to my car, and everybody was waiting for my first reaction, because I always do the first reaction reviews, and everybody was just waiting, and I just sat in my car for 10 minutes going, what do I say? And I just kind of said, I was positive, but it was funny because I remember reading the comments and people were like, so did he like it or not? I was like, yeah. And then I was like, and then I did a follow-up video because I drove, the premiere was the same night. So I went to the premiere event, didn't get into that, but I was outside when I saw everybody go in, and right before like the actors arrived, I did another video telling everybody that, that there's a lot of things I wanted to talk about with the movie that'll be in like future videos. But it was kind of like, it was interesting seeing all the actors, walk the red carpet and walk into the theater. And I'm just going, do they know, like, have they seen what is going to be happening in this? Especially Cavill. When I saw Cavill, I'm like, dude, your face, your face, like, yeah, this is. And then I drove home sad because Snyder wasn't there. Zack wasn't there. Deborah was there, but Zack wasn't. And I just was like, it was just, yeah. I remember just driving home, just thinking like, holy crap, what happened here? Because obviously he didn't attend the premiere, but she did. And she, she did what she was smiling, taking pictures and all that stuff. I mean, everybody seemed like they were good. But yeah, then like when I posted the review, I was positive. I tried to be as positive as possible. And then, right after that, that's when information started like, coming out, and people started reaching out and stuff. So it's been an interesting journey.
Yeah. Because I remember one of the videos, you was like, there's no way they're going to do this. Like, it's not like you didn't believe it. It's just like, you was like, there's no way a studio would do this much. I mean, we could understand a little bit because they always do that. But you was like, no way. It's like there is no way that they would do it. Not that you didn't believe it, but it was like the information was so out there that it was hard for anybody to fathom that they would do this. Am I correct?
Oh yeah. I that's what I would say in the videos. I'm like, why would they want like reshoot half of it? And it turns out they were trying to reshoot like the whole thing essentially. It all didn't make sense. And I remember stuff started unraveling for me, and I think somebody actually asked me this. I forgot where it was. I don't know if it was on a stream or if it was just a tweet or something like that. I think it started unraveling for me is when, because I was anything that came out, like I was like gung ho. I was like, yeah, Joss Whedon, he did Avengers. It'll be all right, guys. Oh, Danny Elfman, man. I mean, come on, he's made those iconic scores. It's gonna be all right. But it was when Elfman's score came out, and I did a video where I kind of poked fun at the fact that it sounded like the Avengers score. Yeah, because like you hear the Batman theme, and then it goes right into an Avengers, and I was like, I started going, well, that's interesting because it almost sounds like he just ripped it out of Avengers, changed a little bit, and so I started kind of like doing that, and then somebody hit me up to go see like a test screening, and I couldn't go for some reason. I forgot exactly why. There was some reason I couldn't go, and he wasn't sure what it was for. Turns out it was for Justice League, and his response was, "Dude, that didn't feel like Zack's film." And I went, "Oh shit!" Like that's when it kind of started like unraveling, but I wanted to see it for myself to gauge how much they changed. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, the moment because I remember when there was San Diego Comic-Con, I think 2017, when Ray came out and Zack didn't come out. I think wasn't Deborah there? What was
she
Deborah
probably
there?
was. I'm sure she was, because she seemed like she was like she was at everything, and I mean she saw a screening with Nolan, and I mean she was pretty much playing the producer part, and it was almost like she was gonna do all that, and Snyder was just gonna stay, or Zack was gonna stay away. So I don't know. I'm guessing she was though.
Yeah, I mean I'm almost positive she was, and I'm thinking as a married man that I'm thinking that Zack had to know. Obviously, I can't confirm that. I'm just speaking logically here, common sense, because if my wife is involved there and she sees what they're doing with her husband, I would think that Zack would have known that already. I mean, I'm just thinking common sense. Am I wrong or not, or am I right?
You're saying that Zack knew what exactly?
That they were butchering his movie.
Oh yeah. He 100% did. He knew. He was just never gonna watch it. There's just no way. Like when he walked away from it, it was a full on, like she had to still play the producer part, which that she still had to do her job, but he knew, like I'm sure, like she mentioned things to him, but I mean he's never gonna watch it he's never gonna watch it start to finish, even though I think that would be a hilarious live stream if he did that. Oh my god, I can only imagine like how that would be and what
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So when I started to notice that around San Diego Comic-Con something was up, because correct me if I'm wrong, I've never known Zack to be a quitter. Obviously, the situation was different because obviously, of the tragic loss of his daughter. But in my mind, again, I could be wrong. I'm just thinking the little that I know about Zack, he's not a quitter. there is no way that he will allow someone to butcher his movie or someone to complete his film when they don't. I mean, the closest one probably would have been Nolan because Nolan knows his style. But going from Nolan even to Joss Whedon is different. So to me, there and I think wasn't there a rumor that they wanted to postpone the Justice League?
Oh yeah, there's rumors like crazy. Like there's so many rumors I can't even remember half of them. But yeah, there was. I think there was talks about postponing, and then it just never happened. And then, I mean, my God, it is weird how that is though, because it's like if they would have postponed, could they have made a better movie? And then we might not be where we're at right now. It's weird how everything just kind of like lined up to make it where, hey, now we're literally like less than 2 weeks away to actually watch this damn thing.
Yeah, I don't think the only one that probably I think would the only one that would qualify to finish the movie would have been Christopher Nolan because obviously he knows Zack's style. But other than that, there was no other director that I know that would be able to step in and finish that. So now when you saw, because I always like to start with Man of Steel because that's where everything started. When you saw Man of Steel, what was your expectation when you saw Man of Steel?
Well, I mean, my expectation, I knew it was going to be great. And when I walked out, me and my buddy, who I usually would see movies with, I mean, we were just like, holy shit, that was insane. Absolutely. I mean, we loved it. We walked out and just walked out just ecstatic. Because, when it came to Superman Returns, I liked Superman Returns. It's got some good moments. It's got some moments I said liked when I first saw it. Watching it again, it's like there's moments that are great. Like I still say that plane crash sequence or the plane sequence is done very well. I think that's still done very well. But everything else, I mean, the story a lot of things don't really work with that. But I think like it just felt fresh. Like Man of Steel just felt fresh, and it felt, like, I mean, when Dark Knight came out and we kind of got a fresh take on that, a more grounded take, it felt like this was kind of like that for, Superman. But of course, it can't be super grounded because, I mean, it's freaking Superman. So, but, loved it though.
Yeah, I was speaking with John, and he said that it took him watching BVS to really appreciate Man of Steel. I know you're a big Batman fan.
Is Garza? You talking about Garza?
Yeah.
I always call him Garza. So it's like when someone says John, I'm like, who?
Oh no. It's more out of respect. I told him that it's funny the perception that people have of him. Me just sitting down talking to him. He's actually a nice guy, man. He is.
Yeah, I mean, what I love about Garza is like, he doesn't hold back, and when he wants to light a fire, he's gonna light a fire, and it's hilarious. And there'll be times where like, whoa, pump the brakes, man, pump the brakes. But most of the time, I'm like, I get a kick out of it, and I love, talking shit to him back and forth. We have that kind of relationship. So yeah, I know people, of course, always like and same thing with me too. They'll put that on me as well, but. Yeah, but if you just sit and talk with the guy, I mean,
and he recommended to watch Midsommar. Have you watched Midsommar?
Midsommar, right?
Yeah. I'm actually gonna watch it tomorrow or Tuesday. I showed my wife the trailer because I asked him, was it because my wife, she doesn't watch no scary movie. Yeah. So I asked him, is it a scary movie? He says no, it's more like suspense. Is what it is.
It's not really scary. I mean, there's a lot of moments, a lot of build up, a lot of tense moments, and it's a lot of what the hell am I like? What did I just watch right now? Moments, and then it just ends, and you're like, you just walk out going, holy shit, like that was something.
Did you watch the director's cut?
No, I didn't watch the director's cut. I watched. I haven't seen the director's cut yet, which I should watch. I saw it in the theater, and I watched it one more time at home when it first came out, but I haven't seen the director's cut yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch the director's cut. Now, when you obviously because when I first saw BVS, I mean it really impacted me. There's only two movies that I could say that really like got to me. The first one's BVS. The second one's gonna shock you. It was directed by Mel Gibson, Passion for the Christ.
Oh yeah,
that whipping scene that really got to me. But when you saw BVS, what was your initial reaction when you came out, when you went? Because I was trying to look for it, your video, to see your BVS reaction. I couldn't find it.
I don't think I
What?
did one on that one.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no.
So what was your reaction when you first saw it?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Just the build up to it. Because I was covering that movie like crazy. When that movie was announced, that's when I really took my channel seriously, like where I was posting videos every day. Anything that came out BVS, I was like on top of it. And I walked out and I was just full of glee. I absolutely loved it. And then when the ultimate cut they started talking about that in another half an hour, and I was like, I was like, thank you, please. I want more. And sure enough, I got more. And it's funny too, because some people will be like, oh yeah, the theatrical version is shit, don't watch it. I'm like, no, it's not. It's still good. It's still a watchable version. But it's just, the gaps really get filled in with that extra half an hour. So obviously, if I'm going to choose, when I put it on, I put on the ultimate cut. But the theatrical one was still good.
Yeah, when my wife, when we saw the ultimate cut, because she asked me, she says when she first saw the one that came out theater, said why Superman didn't, if he sees everything's powerful, why he didn't stop the explosion. And obviously the theatrical part don't show that part, but on the ultimate edition, they told Lois that the chair was made out of lead. Obvious, a Superman fan knows that he can't see through lead. So those are minor details as a Superman fan that I wish it would have been there. Like you said, it was not a bad movie. It was still awesome, but the ultimate edition just fills in those little holes that the one it was lacking. Now, what I always wanted to ask you, what made you started doing this? I mean, when you started doing the video, I mean, what pulled you in doing this?
Well, I was working with a friend. We were kind of he kind of had a business thing going where he was like making web pages and whatnot. And I was doing like filming weddings and stuff. And we kind of just combined to start where he was going to be developing web pages. He already had like customers and stuff like that. And then any video that they needed, I was going to do. So we were working together, and he kind of, he would always put on Philip DeFranco. He would always put him on, and I just kind of would be watching, and I'm like, I could do something like this but I could just talk about movies. And then he was telling me, he's like, yeah, just do it. Just turn on the camera and do it. And I was like, all right. So I did. And those older videos were crap, of course. No HD, no microphone. The background was like my closet. It was horrible. And yeah, that was pretty much it just felt like, because I always did little short videos,
Right.
Did little short films beforehand, and I don't know, I just always wanted to do something where I was doing videos or sketches or something. And after watching that, and other YouTubers as well, like your Jeremy Johns, your Chris Stuckmans, and your Toby Turners, just kind of looking at different styles out there, and I'm like, it's free to do. Might as well just give it a shot. So, and here I am.
Yeah, a lot of people think doing a YouTube thing is easy. To be honest, I thought it was easy until when I started. I'm like, man, this is harder than what it is. Obviously, you have to have the time for it. You have to be dedicated to it. I spoke to you privately, and you was kind enough to give me some pointers. The one thing that you always told me is just work on your content. Just keeping working hard on it, and little by little it's gonna come. Obviously, it's not gonna happen overnight, because it took you a while. It took you a while for your channel to go, right?
Oh yeah, it took a bit. I mean, yeah, it's sometimes like people can get lucky and you just have a video that just goes viral, and then all of a sudden, but the thing is, like, what you have to do, if something were to go viral, I mean, sometimes you could just be like, and then it could just fall flat again. Where like the people that are successful, that it doesn't take as much time, like a video or something can go viral, and then they just keep at it. They keep at it, and they keep their audience engaged and stuff. I see Sinfinity. He knows. He saw an old video called Kung Fu that is somewhere out there in the ether. It's somewhere out there. No, but yeah. And then sometimes it just takes longer. Like I said, I started the channel now 10 years ago. It's crazy to think about. And then I was really, I was on another channel for an Android website that I was doing, and then that stopped. And then like I said, when BVS came out, that's when I was starting to like do more content on this one. And then it's all trial and error. It's not everything's going to work. There's plenty of ideas that either I never tried, or they just never worked. And, this past year with live streaming going like crazy, it was just like, it was time to start doing live streaming, and it's a lot of work. I'm live streaming like 5 times a week. It's like,
are you planning to take a little break once after the Snyder Cut, or are you just gonna keep pushing hard?
Just keep going. No.
Yeah. I know Chris, he told me, he says, because when I asked him, a few pointers, he just told me, be yourself and do what you think you do best. So obvious, I can't imitate you. I mean, that's that's not me. I'll be a phony. What I wanted to do, because I you do everything. You do obviously, short stream. I love those back and forth, one-on-one. Jeff Johns, that's totally you. I can't do that. You do obviously awesome on Fridays, with the interviews and the information. And obviously, Chris, he does that a lot. So I'm thinking to myself, I said, man, what would I like to do? I just like to talk. So this is why I say, you know what? Let me just talk to people. Sit down, talk about movies, talk about our passion. That's just me. And I mean, it's working out okay for me.
Yeah. Well, everybody has their strengths. I mean, if when it comes to like either Swenson, I mean, Swenson's killing it right now. I mean, he's absolutely he found his like niche, like a good niche, like with like editorial videos, and he's skyrocketed. I mean, Comic Movie Marks, same thing. Now they're making this like just absolutely just fantastic content. And then you have Garza that makes like great trailers, and then him and Ben have a great back and forth too. I mean, and I remember when, I think it was like last year, I think on one of the vodka streams, I just was like, I think I was, of course, swimming in vodka and having like a drunken, hey guys, man, come on. Now, I think it was just like, I was just telling everybody, I'm like, it's content, man. I mean, right now is the perfect time to do it. Everybody's at home, and it's just like, let's just get it all out there. And it's everybody's just, I mean, you got even Colbert, he's got his BBS by the Minute, his podcast that he does. And I just remember just saying, like, just get it all out just get it all out there. Just work and see what happens. And everybody's just skyrocketing. I love it.
Yeah. And we were talking about this yesterday, that right now that the studios, Warner Brothers or even Disney, they gotta be happy, because the one who's doing the marketing for the movies are us YouTubers.
Yeah.
We're the one that is sitting down. We're talking about it with fans, obviously, with other YouTubers, with directors. That to me, that's huge, because I mean, they don't have to spend that kind of money now advertising on TV. We're doing it for them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that's what. And then look, Snyder knows this. That's why he's like, he jumps on like live streams. He knows like he's utilizing that fan base. I mean, what I've learned in this past year with like, getting interviews with, actual actors and everything is, it's all, there's like the press junket side of things. And then there's just like, okay, when you have to contact a certain somebody and someone, whatever, and then be like, okay, can you send over the questions? There's like this, it's like a whole thing. It can be a whole thing. But Snyder, what does he do? He just jumps on. I mean, that's what happened on Friday. He just literally just sent me a message, and then I sent him the link, and he just jumped on. It's freaking awesome. And that's what I love about the guy, because he sees that, yes, I have this fan base, and there's a lot of voices in this fan base, and I could just, utilize that to push this thing. And he's done it. Like he should be teaching classes about this, writing books about it, because it's been pretty crazy.
And you know what I love what he's doing also as well, that he's not going on these big YouTubers, channel that were against him. He's actually going on YouTubers that was actually fighting for him. It's a way of him giving back. And I asked Fabian Wagner, why is he going on big YouTubers or small YouTubers? Because he says to thank the fans. Yeah. This is what they're doing. So I absolutely, and this is my opinion. I think the reason, and I could be totally wrong, but I think that what the reason he's doing that on the 15th is because he wants us fans to control the narrative. Because obviously, if it was just left to the critics and bloggers, we know that they're gonna trash the movie because they already did. So this way, inviting the fans that wants to see it, we're going to drain out all the negative things. I mean, am I wrong thinking that way or not?
No, you're not. I think it was because the embargo. I think is the 15th. I remember I just saw it, and
it is the 15th. Yes,
it is 15th. So yeah. No, I think it's planned. I think they plan it just right. But I mean, what's great about it though too is like, I mean, there's the power of like all of that. Yeah, there's going to be critics and bloggers that are going to trash it. I think I already saw one in particular person already. He's already gaslighting. I was like, yeah, here we go. He's already trying to do that. But what I love though is like there's others that maybe didn't that didn't like maybe BBS or something like that have revisited it and like it a little more. And it seems like they're actually hyped to see what this was supposed to be because they didn't like the theatrical, they didn't like Justice League, so they're actually hyped to see what this is. And yeah, there's going to be negative reviews out there, but yeah, like you said, I think it was planned accordingly where it's like, yeah, those are going to slip out, but there's going to be so much positivity from fans and from, I mean, when they were all the invites and everything that was happening with all that, it was kind of crazy because I don't know exactly the logistics of how the invites were. I know a lot of people were like, hey, how can I get one? I'm like, I don't know. I happen to actually talk to the guy. So I had one lined up. I don't know what the process was for anybody to get an invitation. I'm sure if he could get, everybody an invitation in the fandom, he would, but obviously, it's going to be limited.
Yeah. I mean, as a human being, obviously I want to invite. Who doesn't?
Yeah,
we all want, want the invite, but it's 3 days, 3 days before.
Exactly.
It's not like we have to wait another 2 weeks. I mean, we waited 3.5 years.
He could wait 3 days.
Yeah. So again, I won't lie. I wanted one. Who doesn't want one? Mm-hmm. But I just and again, I'm even telling my people, listen, you don't know if he's watching. You don't know if his people's watching and how he'll react. You just don't know. I mean, if somebody is acting negatively and trashing the other one, why would I want to give it invite there? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, that's just the way I think. But I know there's a lot of. What do you think about the Henry the Superman trailer? My theory is I think that Supergirl suit.
You think that's Supergirl? I know. I remember a lot of people were talking about that. I mean, it very well could be. It could be like a version of it, like a version. I mean, obviously, when you see like the Kryptonians, you see their armor. I mean, it definitely is that. I don't know if there's would be like a separate kind of like a Superman version of the Supergirl suit, but I mean, it definitely is a female's Kryptonian body armor. So it could be.
If you hear me out, when General Zod, when he takes off the Man of Steel, that he takes it off, he has his suit.
Uh-huh.
If you look at the suit next to Superman, it's the same concept, and there's a red cape, and inside there is blue. If you, because I zoomed it there. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that Supergirl is gonna be in the Snyder cut. No. I mean, I would love her to be, but I'm just in that particular thing. I think that Supergirl suit
could be. I mean, yeah, I think it definitely is. It's going to be interesting when that scene happens, and maybe we get a closer look at it or something. And then, of course, we hopefully get the answer of who was in that empty pod or whatever in Man of Steel. That was, I
thought it was Kara. I think the prequel.
There was a prequel comic. And then what's weird about that is there was that prequel comic that showed that, but he never really mentions that. Has he ever really mentioned that prequel comic?
No, he has not. But I think again, because I know a lot of people were complaining that Zack was showing too much, and Zack says, "Dude, it's a 4-hour movie. You haven't seen anything yet." So I'm thinking if it is Supergirl, and Zack wants to use that whenever, if he ever puts it on there, he's not going to talk too much about it. I mean, that's just me. Now the secret cameo, the superhero secret cameo, we all kind of think it's Green Lantern. I mean, that's what we all think. But setting aside Green Lantern for a moment, what are the chances are you think that there is Carrie Kelly?
I mean, there is like, I mean, that's what I was talking about today on today's stream that I had this morning was there's like a mystery. There's a mystery. What do they call it? Like a Batman Nightmare Rogue costume that's in that exhibit at Dallas. That's a female. It's a female's, costume. And everybody's kind of, I think if Carrie Kelly is going to show up, it's going to be in the Nightmare world. And it's going to be, that would be her wearing it. It's either that or it'd be Selena. I was kind of like going, wouldn't that be sweet if it was Selena?
Oh, Selena Kyle.
Yeah, just like interesting. Like, or a lot of people are thinking it could be a Black Canary. I don't know, but
I've heard that. But Zach said that the hardcore fans will go nuts. Would that make Canary? Would that make the hardcore fans go nuts?
Probably not, because I think a lot of people would just associate it to Birds of Prey. So yeah, if I had to put money on it, my money would go to Carrie Kelly. Yeah,
Carrie. Obviously, again, setting aside Green Lantern because we all think is Green Lantern. Well, let me not speak for you. I think it's Green Lantern. Now, what about Supergirl?
I mean, there could be a possibility. We always suspected that maybe she would even be part of like the history lesson too. There was always, I remember I think maybe it was rumors or maybe we just discussed it. I don't know. But, I mean, I haven't heard anything about Kara. I haven't heard anything about that. There's things I do know that I can't say. And then there's
obvious.
Yeah. But then, when it comes to that, I haven't heard really like anything. I mean, it's kind of funny how, Snyder, like, yeah, he'll get things out there, but he'll also like, I don't know. He's just got one of those minds that kind of, he knows what he's doing. I mean, look what happened recently with the storyboards. I think
that was on purpose.
Oh yeah, it definitely was. What he said on the Vodka stream on Friday, he was just like, they're not spoilers, guys. They're just, if you don't want to look at them right now, you don't have to. But once you see Justice League, then go take a look, because that's not what they would end up being. That was a pitch. That was a pitch. They were basically Snyder, Terrio, and sadly Jeff Johns, because we found out that that's his handwriting, mapped out kind of like a pitch, and then Jim Lee did the drawings, and that was just kind of like, here's where this story could end up going. But of course, it was going to get flipped around, and when it came to writing the script, full-on script, things got rearranged and different, but that was just initially what they were pitching to, and kind of just had it all lined up, but it wasn't going to be what we were going to full-on get. So it's not spoilers, as he said.
The only reason I'm holding out hope that is Supergirl is because we don't know when Andy Muschietti told Sasha Calle that she was Supergirl. That could have been done 2 months ago. That could have been done 3 months ago, and nobody didn't know, and they decided to release it that day. We don't know.
Yeah.
When is the official word? And the only reason I'm holding out hope is because Andy Muschietti is using everyone for the DCEU. That's just that, except for Michael Keaton, all the people that he's using is for the DCEU. So that's why I'm kind of holding out hope that maybe it's her. Am I thinking logically here?
Well, I think it's just because I the only reason why I'm like, probably not, just because I know Warner Brothers, it's just, they hate all this hype that's happening with Zack Snyder's Justice League. I mean, of course, Warner Media and AT&T are loving the absolute shit out of it, but Warner Brothers is just they can't get the most hyped movie that they have in their lineup right now is the Batman, but it's not to the level of Zack Snyder's Justice League. I keep on saying, like, the hype levels for his Justice League is like up in the cosmos, while the Batman is like trying to get out of the atmosphere of hype level. And you could see it too, because when they announce all this stuff, it's always convenient. Like when they do it, make these announcements. Like, I'm curious with you, is like, when did they cast Miss Kaye? When was that? When was that whole thing happen? Was that recent, or was that, like I said, months ago? I just don't think, like, she would actually be if there was a Kara in the Snyderverse, it's not going to be her. I don't think.
You don't think
No. No.
why? Because of Warner Brothers not wanting Zach to pick it for them. I mean, that kind of and it's kind of sad because as a Latino man, I was touched by her. It was
great.
It was a beautiful reaction, and I'm trying to tell everybody that we could do both. It's not any Machete fault that they told him to take out Ray Fisher, because he actually catch Ray Fisher. So as a Latino, I want to support Flash, and I'm telling people you could still support Flash and still support Ray Fisher. Now, how do you do that? You support Flash because you have a Hispanic director. You do have Sasha Calle, who's Latina, and then how do we support Ray Fisher? By making the Snyder Cut the biggest box office hit of all time. And guys, and I'm trying to tell people, if by miracle chance they greenlit Justice League 2, and they told Warner Brothers told Zack, okay, you could do Justice League 2, but you can't bring Ray Fisher back. Zack is gonna tell him, it's either I bring all my cast back or I'm doing it, because he said no more compromise it. Am I wrong thinking that way?
No, you're not. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, that first week after it all comes out, I'm like, what's the discussions going to be made? Because I mean, this, like you said, like this thing is just so huge right now, and to see where it could have went with like the Nightmare World, and to not want to explore that more, it's going to be interesting, because if they do decide to do the sequels, I mean, obviously now you got to think about which actors, the actors coming back, because I mean, I think back in 2017 when all the madness went down and it came out and it bombed and everything, I think some were like, it's probably not going to be any more of me this. I mean, Amy Adams I think she even said she probably is not going to play Lois Lane again or something. And I mean, obviously you got
really?
Oh yeah, I think she said that I mean, she said she would definitely do it. She just didn't think it was going to happen. Like she would ever play her again. Yeah, she didn't say like she didn't want to. She always, I think she would definitely come back if she was given the choice. But then things change. It's been 3 years, and it's like maybe then now she's like, no, that was like then. I'm kind of like doing different things now. Hopefully not. But I'm just kind of curious to see where the actors will, obviously they support Zack and they 100% will, but like you had Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman 84 kind of took it in a different direction, and we're going to see Wonder Woman come back as being that warrior as we saw before. I mean, and Wonder Woman 84 wasn't exactly the warrior, it was more lighthearted, and a lot, I know a lot of people didn't like that. I thought it was fine. But what did you think of Wonder Woman 84? I didn't think I ever saw your.
No, I thought it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It obviously is not the warrior Diana, Wonder Woman that we saw in Wonder Woman 1 and BVS. And this is where we could have a discussion and critique the film, not critique the director. Because I'm telling people, it's the part that I don't get is when they make it personal.
Yeah.
But the part that really I wish that they wouldn't is the way they brought by Steve Trevor. And to me, I kind of find it funny that she's making love to him and she sees Steve Trevor.
But it's another dude.
Yeah, but because I asked my wife about that. I said, hey, what would you do? And then I call you one of my ex. She said she beat the crap out of me. So that's the way I'm thinking. So I think, because the plot was make a wish. So I'm saying to myself, why not have Diana make a wish? She could see Steve Trevor. And he comes back for real, and at the end she makes a more consequential. To me, that's more deep that she has to decide. Steve Trevor's right there. I mean, do you think that would have been better?
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was weird too. I think I even made a video about that whole thing, like because like I made a video because a lot of people are like, is she a rapist? I mean, my God. Wow. I mean, that guy just did. I'm like, and it was funny, and I talked about it, and I'm like, I don't know why they went that direction. Like, why did it have to be like he had to take over like some dude? I think they were trying to. I think it was just because see, that's the thing though. It's like when you think about that movie and you think about that, it's like she sees him as this, while everybody else, they didn't really lean into that aspect of it all. So it was like, well, why didn't she just wish him back and he just came back in a physical form as himself? It's like, if you were going to have it where he takes over this body and only she sees him like that, it's like, okay, then lean into it like an 80s movie. And I think that's what they were going to go for at first, and it just never went that direction, you know, because in the 80s, a lot of those body swapping, you know, movies were like, they were hits back then, you know. But they just never leaned into it. It was just it really didn't make sense unless they actually leaned into that aspect of it, and they never did.
Yeah, I thought I'm not I know a lot of people said there was not too much action. I'm okay with that as long as you're telling a good story. I'm okay with that. I just to me that part I'm like, it just didn't. I wish they would have went in a different direction.
Yeah.
Now on the this is, I mean, the massive cliffhanger that Zach is talking about. Before he said that, my mind was Justice League has to close out in a positive note, you know, and you know, that's the way I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But when Zach said massive cliffhanger, I'm saying, I see everybody making a comment on it, and I'm like, I'm telling them that's a cliffhanger. But what is the only massive cliffhanger out there that will make people go, oh? And when I first saw Garza said Lois Lane being killed, that was before Zach made that comment. I'm like, there's not. I don't. I mean, that's probably gonna happen in a Nightmare, you know, part 2, but not anyone. But when he said massive cliffhanger, the more I thought about it, to me, that's the only massive cliffhanger out there. Unless you have one, do you have another one that you think would be a massive cliffhanger?
That's the thing. That's one of the things I know too much of. It's so I can't really say what I know, obviously, but I know like the whole Lois getting killed thing. I mean, it's funny because I love Garza. Garza's gonna die on that hill. He wants this, and I really, I mean, it'd be great. I don't, if we see future ones, I mean, we'll definitely that probably will be incorporated, because that was even the split. I don't know if anybody did you read all the storyboards? You read all? I
did.
Yeah.
I did.
I did. Part of it. That was part of it. But like I said, it's not really spoilery because a lot of things were, you know, rearranged and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, when it comes to that, I can't say too much because I know a little too much about the massive cliffhanger and kind of how it ends and stuff. So I'm just like, yeah, I can't. Mum's the word with me.
Okay, all right. Because I'm just trying to think. I'm like, man, you know what? Because I'm pretty sure we could find 20 cliffhangers. I mean, obviously, you know, you could.
What's funny about that is you know, the Warner Brothers, and you know, when he was first making it, and then of course, even like now, because even though Warner Media is loving all this, and AT&T, they're loving all this, Warner Brothers, you know, they still have. You know, they still want him to like end it right here. Like, yeah, he's actually told me this, where it's like they wanted, even though like he's getting his vision back, like Warner Brothers, they wanted him to just like, no, wrap it up. They have him wrap it up. And he's like, no, fuck you guys. I'm keeping it the way it is. I'm leaving all the stuff that's open. I'm leaving my vision how it is. They want him to stop because they're trying to go with, you know, Matt Reeves' Batman and where Black Adam's going, and they want to go different direction. They don't want to go back to the Snyderverse.
Well, here's the part that I don't understand, Dave. If in their mind they think that nobody's going to want the Snyder cut, then why are they trying to stop it?
It's just because I think it's just because they put forward, like I said, their slate that they have going forth. They're already putting all this time and effort and money into it, and they really think that that's the way. Like, oh, these movies are going to go this direction, and we want it to go to this direction. And we already tried this, and you know, it got slammed, and then we try to rearrange it, and then. You know, when people, like I said, when people are going to compare both Justice Leagues, they're going to look like idiots. They're going to look like massive idiots. Like, I mean, it's going to be amazing how different this movie is and how much better it is. They're just going to look like an absolute joke. So it's just that aspect of it. of looking like chumps, which they're going to look like, and all the and then already putting all this effort into changing the direction. And now if people are going to be like, no, we want more of this, they're going to have to go back to it and then like kiss Snyder's ass. They don't want to do that.
Well, okay, but this is how I'm thinking. Okay, so you're going to have the hardcore Snyder fan is going to want Justice League 2.
Yeah.
And you're going to have the anti-Snyder fan who loves Matt Reeves, which I love Matt Reeves too, that's going to want his Batman. Okay. Yeah. Then you have the middle people like myself. Then I'm telling Warner Brothers, why can't I enjoy both? You open the multiverse by having Ezra Miller Flash show up there. So people like myself, obviously I like Zack Snyder and I like his movie, but I'll be able to enjoy Matt Reeves' Batman because I have another Batman. It's like going to a buffet. When you go to a buffet, you're not gonna eat everything there, but we go there. Why we go there? Because we want choices. Yeah. And I just don't understand why they don't want to do that. I mean, if they're confident, on their vision, let Zack Snyder finish what he want to finish, and you stay focused. If you want trying to build something, do it. I don't understand.
Yeah, the studios are idiots, man. They're not confident. That's the thing, and it's just egos. It's egos everywhere, and I mean, and then they just want to make that big time, huge Disney Marvel money, and that's the sad fact of the matter is, and that's what happened, and that's why they got themselves in this mess because they try to change the tone of Justice League to what was happening over there. Yeah, you would think it's like that. Yeah, it's money on the table, and the great thing about it is like Jason Kylar and AT&T, they see that, and they saw. What Deborah said. She said like, yeah, when they looked at the analytics and saw the release of Snyder Cut hashtag and how big it was growing and growing and growing, and that's why they're like, okay, we're gonna let you finish, and here's $70 million. You can't tell me that they're not seeing the numbers right now and going, oh yeah. Come on. Are you kidding me? It's like even way more than it was back in 2019 when we were looking at this before it started. Look at the numbers now. And, but at the same time, you still got Warner Brothers over there with that old guard that it's just like, with egos and just trying to do something different that are absolutely hating that. Even though if they were to just have leaned into it in the first place, maybe they would be where Warner Media is and Jason Kylar and everything right now. But
yeah, I've been saying that the unfair expectation that they put on Zack, that they wanted Zack Snyder to make $1 billion on BVS when number one, if they're going by the Marvel blueprint, the Marvel first two movies didn't even crack $800 million together.
Yeah,
Zack Snyder, Man of Steel, made close to $700 million, and I'm sorry, $900 million for BBS. That's not chump change. I mean, that's $1.5 billion there. If they would have stood the course, that probably would have been finished. It probably would have been done in 2 years. Well, yeah. You know what? Let me take that back. The pandemic changed everything.
It did.
But it would have. It sure would have been closer for them being finished and them even starting new. But I don't get it. I mean,
they're always chasing. They're just chasing Marvel. I think this goes back to how successful. Like Iron Man was successful, and it started off their universe, and then all of a sudden 3 years later, what does Warner Brothers do? They take one of their characters that's not one of the big, huge, characters, not your Batman and Superman. They take Green Lantern. They're like, let's make a Green Lantern movie, and maybe we could start off our universe just like they did. And that was a shit show. That ended up, it just seems like they're always trying to chase something different. And then they were wrapping up Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. Then they wanted him to continue on because that was hugely successful with Superman. That was Nolan knew that was out of his realm. It was like, no, I don't make those types of movies, but I know somebody who can. And yeah, like you said, Man of Steel was successful, but of course they look at the reviews also, and what did get mixed reviews. Sadly, nowadays, everybody talks about how great Man of Steel is and how excellent it is. And anytime they talk about I wish anytime the haters always say I want a Superman like this, like that, like this, everybody goes, That's in Man of Steel. What you just asked for is what's in there. Look at Superman and Lois. There are elements in those first 2 episodes of Superman and Lois that are very Snyder-esque. You know, I don't know if you've watched the show. Have you watched any of the new show?
I try. See, I try. I mean, I'm watching Lois and Clark now, but it's like the quality is better now. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
it was hard for me, you know, the Flash. I don't like cheesy stuff. This is not me. I like quality over quantity. So, but I must say the new one, the Lois show, the Lois and Superman show, that's actually pretty good.
It's gotten better. Like, I was actually surprised, but I was like, okay, but you could tell, like, okay, yeah, there's elements in there. And I'm like, yeah, that's come on, that's some Snyder elements you're trying to sneak in here. We see you, Jeff Johns. We see you.
Yeah. Okay. So this is again, correct me if I'm wrong. Obviously, if the movie bombs, you know, because anytime a studio invests, they just don't invest in a movie without having a plan B, plan C. You know, if a movie is successful. So to me, 70 me, they're not gonna. At least in my view, I mean, you're more connected than I am.
Mm-hmm.
Will a studio invest $70 million in a Snyder cut just to get rid of it?
No,
I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. I mean, when we heard that number, I mean, that we talked about that many times in the Vaga streams. Like, you just don't do that. You just don't do that. They're not saying anything right now, and you know, I love what Snyder's doing because he's really coy, and then he's directing. When he gets the question about Justice League 2, 3, he'll just say like, "Oh yeah, they don't want me to. They don't." He always puts it on them. That's another, you know, brilliant thing that he's doing. He's, like I said, he's making Warner Brothers look like chumps, like by releasing those storyboards. That he wanted them out there to be like, hey, this is what we were kind of going for right here a little bit. They didn't want this. They wanted, you know, smiling faces, and you know, I'm a big fan of Justice and stuff like that. They wanted lines like that, those cheesy ass lines. Yeah, but you better believe that AT&T, Warner Media, I mean, of course they're probably, I don't know the whole logistics of it all. I don't know. I'm not in the know with all that. I just know that Warner Brothers hates it. That's pretty much all I'm just knowing when it comes to what's going on behind the scenes.
In your opinion, is there a number that Jason has in his mind that he knows if it hits, he's going to approve?
I don't know. I don't know, because I when it came to, you know, Wonder Woman 84, I mean, obviously, I mean, it did well. We saw the numbers. It did well, but I mean, Zack Snyder's Justice League is going to blow that out of the fucking water, man. I mean, it's gonna blow. So it's like, and what happened? I mean, Patty Jenkins got her Wonder Woman 3, like, you know, greenlit like that, and I didn't think that she was going to get. She was going to do it. I thought there would be a Wonder Woman 3, but I'm like, okay, but she's going to be making Star Wars. Somebody else is probably going to come in and do Wonder Woman 3, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh yeah, Patty Jenkins is back, and it's just. It's weird. It's all very weird because you know, there very well could have been like maybe there was a negotiation thing that happened, because, you know, she was very much about Wonder Woman 84 being in theaters, 100% in theaters, not dual releasing. And I'm kind of wondering if there was a deal that said, okay, that maybe she put in, it was like, okay, give me Wonder Woman. I want to do Wonder Woman 3 my way, and give me that deal, and I'll let you, and then we'll do the dual release thing or something like that. I think there was like something in the negotiation.
That makes sense. Sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's why it was so quick. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
No, that makes sense. And you can't blame Patty Jenkins not wanting her movies in the theater. I mean, you know,
I get it.
She worked hard. That's what I was telling everybody. It says, I don't fault her, you know, not wanting to put the movie out on you know, on theaters, but I always try to look at, as far as the studios, like, what is their best interest, you know, and I believe they were in a no-win situation here. I mean, this pandemic. I mean, Dave, last year when the whole country, now this is what my person told me, and this is best case scenario. He says, even when the vaccine is out, it's going to take minimum 1 year for the theater just to even break even.
Oh yeah, it's
1 year minimum.
Yeah, it's not gonna. Yeah, Anybody that thinks it's just going to turn back to normal, I don't even know. It'll never fully turn back to normal. But I mean, when they talk about opening up the theaters again, I mean, they're going to only get what 25% capacity maybe, and then they'll it'll slowly get. Yeah, these theaters are still going to be struggling no matter what. You know, when you can't fill up a movie theater on opening night or opening weekend, you can't fill up, you know, every little seat and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, they're still going to suffer. So that's where Kylar was just like, you know what, this is the only alternative. I mean, and it's weird when people push back, or like people in the business push back against it. It's like, well, first off, you're on your Instagram, your social media telling me to wear a fucking mask all the time. And then you're like going, no, movies need to be in movie theaters. It's like, well, we can't exactly do that. You know, it's like, which one do you want?
Well, how's this, Dave? How's this? Huh. You get the vaccine, and then they still tell you have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Now, then what? Why am I getting a vaccine if I still have to wear the mask?
Oh, I know. It's all crazy. I know. Everybody, I mean, people that thought like, oh yeah, you get the vaccine, you're fine. That's it. And nope, they're still telling you got to still do everything. It's like, oh, wait a minute. What the fuck? I mean, I thought this was gonna, you know, open things back up. I mean, yeah, it's all craziness, man.
Dave, I wear masks because, you know, I'm not, you know, I do what I'm told. Yeah. But I last year I did everything. Wore the mask. Social distance, 6 feet, wash my hands, didn't go out, and I still got COVID.
Yeah,
can somebody explain that to me?
Same with me. It was just like, you know, same with my mom, same with friends of mine.
Oh, you got it too?
Oh, I got it. Yeah, back in December, dude. Like when I had Snyder on for the Deck the Hall stream, I had it. I had it.
You were coughing a lot?
No, I wasn't coughing a lot. Luckily, bourbon. I mean. We actually Ray Porter and I talked about this on the vodka stream because he got it too, and he was like, you know what, I'm not advocating for this, but I will say that when I had a cough, you know, I had some whiskey, some bourbon, and I'm like, I'm with you on that because that's what saved me on for that Deck the Hall stream. I mean, it was funny because you know, it was me and Swenson did the stream and we had Zach on. Yeah. And when, you know, we were backstage before it was going to start, and I told him, I was letting him know, I'm like, dude, I got a fever of like 100.2 right now. I got some chest congestion and a cough. I mean, you know, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is it, man. My mom has it right now, and like, I'm pretty sure I got it. And he goes, oh man, are you gonna be able to last? I'm like, this bourbon's gonna fucking save me right now. And I was fine. It's a 2-hour stream. After that stream, though, oh man, I got on my couch, reclined, and I wrapped a blanket up. My fever got up to like almost 102, and I just wrapped myself up in a blanket, and I just was like, oh, and I just freaking passed out, man, because I put all my energy just to keep my energy high for 2 hours on that stream, and then I was done.
Well, check when I had the symptoms. My fever I was taking a shower and I came out and I'm like, I'm not feeling well. Yeah. Then when I took my temperature, I was at 103.5.
Holy shit! Yeah.
103.5, and then I had the thing you put on your finger. In 30 minutes, I went from 96 to 89.
Jeez.
And then I told my wife, hey, call the ambulance. And she looked at me and says, well, I just don't take you to the hospital. I'm like, no, I think something is wrong. Like, you know, because I have asthma. And then when they took it was at 84.
Yeah.
So I was dropping. So they took me to the hospital when they did the x-ray. I had pneumonia on one of my lungs and the other one was growing. And they left me there for 4 days. And the cough, I'm telling you, what really was bad was the cough.
Yeah.
Because the headache, obviously, you know, the fever, you know, you could deal with that. But it was the cough that I was having difficult breathing. So I'm not a drinker. I wish I would have known that. Did it really help with the cough?
Oh, it does. Like there's something about bourbon that really can coat your throat. And then, yeah, it really, like, it was just kind of funny because, like, same with Porter. He said, like, when he had his cough, he drank some one night and it just kind of just soothed it a little bit. I mean, you know, sometimes there's just some benefits with that. I mean, it is kind of crazy though, how people react to it differently. Like me, it was just like, I had an up and down fever and I had heavy chest congestion. Like there'd be times where it's like, I try to do breathing exercises, you know, like the Wim Hof breathing, which requires you to hold your breath. And usually I could do it through the whole thing. I struggled like crazy because my lungs were just jacked. And yeah, it's crazy how different it was. Like my dad tested positive, nothing, no symptoms. My mom was on her ass for about a month.
Really?
Like she was just she was laid out for a month.
Did she have underlying health issues? Your mom?
She has some. Yeah, she has some, and so does my dad. My dad has, I think he's type. Which is the worst? I always get them mixed up. Obviously,
it's type 1. It's type 1.
Type 1's the worst. My dad is type 2. So
okay,
so he had that, and he was kind of worried about that, but nothing. He was wondering if he got a false positive, which that might be the case too. But yeah, I know.
Where do you think you got it?
I think either because I was still going into work, and I think I got it either from my work or I got it from my mom, because she got it first, and then all of a sudden I was like getting the symptoms. So possibly, who knows? But other than that, it's like you just never know, and that's how it's passing along too. By the way, it's like it's passing along from people, like the people you live with. I mean, that's what's happening. I mean, she got it from her. I think she got it from her friends that she was just with. They were just out running some errands. Of course, they were masked up and everything like that. But it's just you could do everything and you still could get it. I mean, that's the sad fact of the matter is.
Yeah, guys, we're about to wrap it up because I want to be considerate of Dave's time. Just to wrap up this topic, when I was in a hospital, and I was freaking out.
Yeah,
and the doctor came in, and the first thing he told me, he says, "Turn off the TV," because I was watching it, and I turned off the TV. He says, "I want to talk to you." He says, "And I'm a Democrat." So this is what he's telling me. Okay. He says every news, regardless if it's Fox or the left, they have a narrative. Listen to me. Listen to what I'm telling you. He said the mask don't work. And I looked at him and says, "What?" And then he gave me an analogy. He says, "If I tell you to have sex with a woman that have AIDS, but you could put condom, would you do it?" I said, "No." But everybody's saying that condom it's going to prevent AIDS. And I'm like, holy crap, that makes sense. So I'm like, so he says the only mask that would reduce, not prevent, he said reduce, is the N95.
Yeah, the N95, yeah.
Right. So I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, holy, because the week before I went to the grocery store. This guy came in with a mask, and he's getting on the case of a woman that didn't have a mask. Check it out, Dave. He's like, wear your mask, this and that. So we both go to the restroom. He uses the restroom. He leaves the restroom without washing his hands. What? And that's when it dawned on me. I said, you know what? We don't know how this is passed. Maybe somebody who's wearing a mask sneeze that has COVID, that's touching something. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously, when it comes to the mask, like I think what it helps maybe is like, okay, so some spittle that might shoot out of your mouth when you're talking, maybe that it'll catch that. Other than that, you still got air. That's the air. Like if it's being passed, like it's still coming out. It's not like it filters it out. Like you said, those the N95 masks, those are specifically for kind of filtering stuff out. But like you said, I mean, your doctor he actually told you that.
Yeah, he did, because I was Dave. I was freaking out because they did the fast acting test, and my oxygen was going low, my fever was going high, and you're hearing the news like, they don't talk about the 99% people surviving. They talk about the whatever percentage that people's dying. So obviously, I'm diabetic, and I'm listening to this, and I'm like, I'm panicking, and he told me relax, and then I asked him, I says, well, why are people dying so fast? He says, because in the beginning we didn't know how to treat it. Yeah. Now we know that people who are dying for COVID, they either die from pneumonia or blood clot, and that's what I'm treating you. You have pneumonia. Here's the medication and the blood clot. And then he asked me, "Have you seen the death go down?" I said, "Yes," because now we know how to treat it. So I'm like, I got. And again, guys, I'm not. Listen, still wear your mask. Because I'm not trying to say that, I still worry because I want peace. But I just told everybody, if the mask works, then why hasn't gone away? So I'm big in conspiracy now.
No, no, I get it. I mean, like, it's all the thing that I've always yelled about, ranted about on like my streams is just like, okay, yeah, why is it always campaigns and talking about masks? Why is it just that? Why is it not talking about, okay, so when you do get COVID, what do I do now? What medications do I take? Or what can I do to help prevent? Like what vitamins, what this, what that? I mean,
I'm gonna tell you, Dave.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you. The doctor said zinc. I know zinc,
now. Yeah,
vitamin D, vitamin C. Drink a lot of water, build up your immune system, and I did that. And you know what? I'm good. So so I told again, obviously we cannot debate this on Twitter because they're gonna think, oh, he's a Republican, or
anti-maskers,
So I don't get into it now. You obviously, are you gonna do a spoiler-free stream after the 15th, or I mean,
my plan about that is I'm gonna do my first reaction like I always do. I'm gonna do a first reaction video. When it comes to, it's gonna be interesting. I'm not even fully sure what I might do. Maybe I see, that's the thing. Because obviously I think that Friday vodka stream, that's gonna be total. Anybody who comes on, we're going to be talking about, because at that time, everybody's going to be able to see it. But when it comes to Monday, I'm not sure if I'm going to do a stream. Let's see. Because it probably, that won't be till, because it's 4 hours and there's going to be other stuff. It wouldn't be till like after 8 o'clock. Because I think it's, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but I'm definitely going to do a first reaction, and then I'll probably maybe do just a regular review, spoiler free, and then I'll record a spoiler review maybe after that, and then post that and just put that it's a spoiler, and then I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really figured it out, but I know for a fact I will have my first reaction.
Yeah, I had planned to do one on my show on the 17th. But I'm so scared that if I do one on the 17th, that someone will come into my chat and
don't risk it. Don't risk it. I mean, wait till it's like out there where everybody can, get it. And then, everybody needs to be wary of their spoilers too. Like if you can't see it on the 18th, then just you better disconnect from any kind of social media.
Okay, all right. Well, Dave, I definitely I know it's dinner time with mom, and we definitely don't want to keep mom waiting. That's for sure. And one thing I admire about your mom, she is you do talk a lot about her in your stream, so she sounds like she's your biggest cheerleader. Am I correct?
Yeah, she's great. She's great. I love it when she's in the chat, and then she's talking with everybody, and she's absolutely fantastic. She's backing me 100% on all this. She's anytime that I get like a good guess, she always says she's proud of me and stuff like that. It's pretty damn awesome.
Yeah. What I'm not gonna ask you obviously about, because I'm asking all my guests about the pineapple on the pizza. We all know you hate pineapple on pizza. No. Have you ever had? Because I used to live in Albuquerque. Have you ever had green chili pizza?
Green chili pizza? No, I don't think I've ever had green chili pizza.
Oh, dude, in Albuquerque, I tell you, the green chili is not the hot one; it's the red one, right? The red one's the hottest. Okay, so I tried a green chili pizza, dude. It was good, bro.
Yeah, it sounds like it'd be good. Yeah, like I don't mind. I've had jalapenos on a pizza. That's great, So
no, you need to try green, and I'm Puerto Rican, bro, by the way. So I'm just telling you. So you need to try green chili pizza, Dave. I wanna thank you for joining me. I really appreciate this. And again, fans, we got people like Dave, that the reason that they're coming on is just to celebrate. It's a time, just to celebrate with the fans. He didn't have to come on my show. Obviously, by him coming on my show helps my channel. So I really appreciate that, Dave.
No problem. Thanks for having me. I'm gonna go ahead and send a donation too. Hopefully, you get all the stuff worked out with your daughter and everything.
Oh yeah, man. It
sounds like it's a pain.
Yeah, she's eventually gonna need an insulin pump. She's eventually she's eventually going to need that. It's horrible, man. But they told her it's gonna take about 3 or 4 years for her to really knows get accustomed to her body, what to take, what not to take. I mean, she's tiny. She's only 108 pounds.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so only 108 pounds. Dave, obviously, I follow you, man. I keep what you're doing, man.
You too.
I like, especially when us Hispanic, when we prosper and when we're growing, we need to support one another. And to tell everybody, it's okay to disagree.
It is.
It's
Absolutely.
okay. It's okay to disagree. We can have a different point of view, even about. I love the part when you say Scoopy pants.
Yeah,
it's
we
okay.
Disagree. We could disagree. Just please don't cancel Speedy Gonzalez and those guys.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that. I mean, and folks, just to let you know, when I was speaking with Dave privately, when about the San Diego Comic Con, he was telling me, "I wish I'm wrong because you wanted it out. You wanted it out. You told me you want to be wrong. I mean, so last question: why do you think people got upset with the information that you were relaying out there? Because the more I thought about it, you never said the cut didn't exist.
No,
you just said that it needed to be finished. What do you think is the disconnect?
I think it was just because, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to remember specifics. I remember one. Because one of the things that I said that, the reason why one of the reasons why he was releasing the shots black and white is because some of them weren't finished, and a lot of people didn't like that I said that. I think it was just because there was a video that was going around from SnyderCon that he said it was done, which of course Snyder was going to say that he had a cut, that it was ready to go, that there was something there, because he wasn't just going to be like, oh no, it's totally, in disarray. It doesn't have music on it. There's unfinished. Why would he say that to a fan base? And that was smart of him, because that made the rounds and that got people talking about it more. But the sad fact of the matter is like, when I was getting the information and I knew, I was like, okay, this is going to cost some money. So we got to me and other people were just like, we got to bring awareness that there is going to be some budget that is going to have to go into this thing. And I think just fans just going to be fans. You just say stuff that they don't agree with or they don't like, and they just they get a little rabid.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't blame them, because to some, dumb means dumb. So I don't blame them, because what I heard was not the 214 cut. I heard the one that was closer was the 171, the one Mark Hughes, the one that I was talking about. That's the one that I heard that was the closest, and that wasn't even done. That was like about 90% done. Even that one needed about $10 to $15 million VFX. So I'm thinking logically, okay, so then the 214, since it's more film, is obvious it's gonna need a little bit more than that. I was not even thinking about the 214. The one that I was saying that it was almost done is the 170. What did you hear the same thing, or you just always heard about
I always heard about the 214, but when I heard the information about the 170 or whatever the heck, it made sense, because I'm like, there's no way that the 214 they would have had him a 3.5 hour movie come out. They would have had him cut it down for sure. I always just heard that Zack has a cut, and the person that my source to him had seen it, and it's like, oh yeah, there's about he always said 30 to 40 million probably put in there. It was always a rough estimate. It wasn't like legit, and for some reason that 40 million kind of like stuck with us with the whole 40 million club.
I mean, but at least you have a sense of humor about it.
We get a kick out of it. I mean, we're always joking about that. It was always funny to us. So it wasn't
and just to give people context, I've heard that the $70 million, I heard it was north than that. I heard it was like close to 90. That's what I heard.
Yeah. I mean, just the fact that they gave it to him. That's the big thing. That's the big thing, is that they gave it to him.
Right. Yeah. All right, guys. So if you haven't done so, please you can subscribe to. Obviously, I'm going to give you. You came on my show, so I do want to give you a promo. Please subscribe to his channel. The Film Junkee, right? The Film Junkee. They can follow you on Twitter with mutuals. On Fridays, the Vodka stream. The Vodka stream is a little late for me because I'm in the East Coast. So that's kind of late. But I do catch on Mondays. I think that's a perfect time. I think you do it 6 o'clock your time, 9 o'clock my time. So I think that's actually perfect. So if you could keep that way for us East Coast people, I greatly appreciate it. And obviously, I'm assuming that you're probably gonna have some guests coming up this weekend coming up.
Yeah, that might have somebody recognizable coming up.
I'm hoping you get Ben Affleck, bro.
that would be a dream.
Oh, I'm hoping you get. If you promise me one thing, if you get Ben Affleck, please put on the casual Batman, bro.
That'd be hilarious. Have casual Batman interview Ben Affleck. That'd be insane.
Yeah, that'd be insane. Well, anyway, Dave, thank you so much. Enjoy the movie, and we'll talk soon. Okay.
All right, sounds good, man. See ya.
All right, man. All right, thank you. All right, guys. I went over 15 minutes, but I appreciate him giving me the time. Again, another great interview. It's he came on my show, and he didn't have to do it, but he came on to help me out. Obviously, I'm trying to build up my channel, and when I have someone that has that many subscribers to come on my show, it actually helps me out. So I appreciate that. I appreciate all the people out there who comes on my channel. Obviously, Zack Snyder is another one. He has a big platform on his podcast, and he has me on a couple of times. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. I'm still waiting for the Outlaw. I told him, and he said he was coming on. So not sure what's going on with the Outlaw. He even retweeted it. Pacific time. Did I say Pacific time? I put Eastern time. So he's thinking it's 9 o'clock my time. I just noticed that. I just noticed you said Pacific time. I'm Eastern. Unbelievable. It's funny. This is hilarious. Eastern time. Oh Lord. Yeah, I'm looking through my notes, and it says Eastern time. And even on my thing, I put Eastern time. So it looks like I may have to. I just break it up in two. So it'll be 9 o'clock my time. Yeah, they were. I put Eastern time. But I just noticed on his thing he said Pacific time, and my thing because he retweeted it out. And underneath it, I don't think he noticed that I put Eastern time. So please join me tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern time for a specific for special prime time. And then he put looking forward to hanging out with Lewis show, raising money for JDRF, and he put 6 p.m. Pacific time. Well, I'll have two streams. Not a problem. I'll get back on at 9 p.m. There's no problem. It's even better. One's for Dave, and the other one is for the Outlaw. So I'm gonna be back on, guys, at 9 o'clock with the GOAT, the Outlaw, also known as the GOAT. I'll be back on to finish this up, guys. Okay. So I thank Dave for joining me. I really do. I thank you for that donation. I really appreciate that. I really do, Dave. Thank you so much for joining. Great interview. It sounds like that when I said about Lois Lane being killed, it sounds like to me that maybe it's not. There's something else. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh Lord. Wow. Okay. Well, guys, I'm gonna be back on in another hour and a half with the Outlaw, also known as the GOAT. So I see you in 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific time. So I see you in an hour and a half.